Ahoy there, me mateys, and welcome ye to another Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion. Where today, we'll be helping me landlubber mateys, the Rohirrim, with a little problem they have with the local Dunlendings. Who be stealing their rum, which is not good. We like the rum. And that's probably enough for pirate voice, because otherwise I'm going to choke myself to death. But in case you're wondering why the hell I'm doing a pirate voice, it is International Talk Like a Pirate Day today, September the 19th. But yeah, there's no way. I did contemplate at one point possibly recording the entire episode in a pirate voice, but I will probably end up losing my voice probably about 5 minutes into the episode. Never mind, recording a 20-minute or so episode. So yeah, so today we need to recover the various ale casks that the Dunlendings have stole after they did a little raid on Grimbold's camp. So we need to kill ourselves 6 raiders, 4 looters, and recover 6 ale casks. So the ale casks will be on the floor. And we can see there's actually one over here in the distance, so it would help if you turn on your floating aims. But they're going to be scattered all around this area. As tempting as it is to run around and group a few of these guys up, they're going to be a bit spread out, and I need to come back and loot the ale casks anyway, so we'll have to just murder them one by one. Yeah, they're all going to be scattered around. There'll be some like just slightly north of this road on the banks where that big rock is. Most of them are going to be kind of in this sort of open area over here. I don't think there's any more further to the east. I may be wrong. We do need that raider though, so he's a melee dude. Let's put him over here. Oh, we need a looter, and screw it, the dog's in the way as well, so why not? We'll grab him too. So group all these guys up. But yeah, as much as it's fun to talk like a pirate, I don't think I can cope with that much. But in case you didn't know as well, there is actually effectively like a Talk Like a Pirate Day event in game. I can't remember what it's called. Is it the Tale of the Shipwrecked Mariner? Which is usually activated for a few days, maybe a week tops, usually around this time of year. Where if you go to the bridge between the Brandywine Bridge between the Shire and Breland, just show you up on the map. That's Ered Luin. So yeah, on this river here, more on the Breland side though. Over here, there should be some NPCs you can talk to, and you'll be given various quests to go searching for loot, and you can basically exchange those for things like eye patches, pirate hats, that kind of stuff. Some cool loots, buried treasure, and all that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting thing to do if you've never done it before. And obviously, once you've got those cosmetics, you can just stick them in your wardrobe, and then all your characters can use it. But I think if you want to see those events, I'm pretty sure, I don't know which episode, but I'm pretty sure Tristana did it in the very early days of the Let's Play LOTRO series. So if you go back through the playlist, I think it's an episode called She's a Pirate or something like that. It'll probably be around about episode 30 off the top of my head, give or take. Because I think the Breland was only like the first 39 episodes. It's probably more towards the end of that region. So it's probably like in the level in the episode 20 to 30 range on the channel. Have a look on the playlist, or failing which, just search on YouTube Balthelion, She's a Pirate, and you'll find the Tristana episode where she was doing some of those quests. But yeah, they should be around in game for at least a few more days. Since today's Talk Like a Pirate Day, it's probably been active for a few days. It's probably active for a few more days. I'm sure there's been an official announcement about it somewhere, but it always comes and goes so fast that you can't really do it. The other thing that tends to be around this time of year as well is Frodo and Bilbo's birthday, which, if I remember off the top of my head, and I usually fail miserably at remembering these things without checking the wiki first, I believe it's September the 22nd is their birthday. And there's another little time-limited event for those guys as well, where if you go to Rivendell and you find, I think you have to speak to Frodo in the guest room downstairs. So you enter Elrond's house, and it's downstairs on the right in the room where there's Frodo, Sam, Gandalf, etc. and he'll give you like a quest that you can complete while that event's active. But yeah, it's another thing that's worth doing. I don't think you get anything too special out of that, off the top of my head. I might be wrong. It's been so many years since I've done that one, but I can't remember anything particularly special coming out of it. I stand corrected if you guys can remember something that's available. So we need one more cask, which is the Flag and Morale quest. So where is it going to be? It's going to be due south. So it's probably going to be behind these rocks over here. Maybe over there in the distance. There we go. This chap's guarding it. So we need one more looter, which is the archers. There's got to be one somewhere. That's a raider. Is there a couple hiding behind the rocks? There we go. There's a looter. We didn't actually pick up the cask, but there's one here anyway, so screw it. Murder you. But yeah, as with most people, they get really upset when their alcohol is stolen, which is understandable. They do have that in common with pirates, at least. So this is a generic ale, as opposed to rum. And it's more appropriate for them to be drinking ales and mead, as opposed to any other alcoholic beverages. Certainly not doing any cocktails. That's way too fashionable. Right, so the next quest we need to do is defeat Dunlending patrols. So if you start from the camp and literally take this road due south, you'll find all these guys patrolling around. They're kind of... They're separate pools, but they generally pair up as well, so there'll be two patrolling. In this case, they've split up quite a bit, probably because someone's killed them recently as well. But depending on how squishy you are, you might want to pull them one at a time. You might not care. But yeah, if you're a bit under-leveled or under-geared, they are signature mobs. So just be cautious. So there's a second guy here. So there's normally two guys that patrol and they stop at this pass, and there's two guys that patrol in the distance that he's going to turn around any second, and he should patrol the far side. Or maybe he's not going to turn. There he goes. So they kind of divvy it up, do half the patrol each. So murder these guys. But yeah, something else that's also happened. As of yesterday, the Balrora server is back up once again, where they've got the third round of beta testing for the new update 23, Where Dragons Dwell. Where we're off to see the dwarves again, more dwarves in the Grey Mountains. So my plan is to hopefully get on there as much as I can while it's still up, because I don't know when that's meant to be coming down again. And record some videos, because there's loads of different things we can talk about. I always like doing the regional exploration. Just do a little video showing you guys what the new region looks like, some new fancy places, but without giving away story point spoilers or whatever, because I don't want to spoil myself. But the Hobbit Avatar update is also in there, which is still a work in progress, but I can probably do a separate video about that. But the overhaul for the Hobbits doesn't seem to be as drastic as it has been for some other characters. So you know, the men and the elves were updated a bit more, whereas the Hobbit ones tend to look a bit more like the existing models, but with, you know, better hair and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see what that's like, because probably I have more Hobbit characters than any other race in the game. There we go, I've killed a 4 actually. So it'd be interesting to see what my main characters look like once the changes are in. I might have to do some side-by-side comparisons just to show you guys what the differences look like, but it is a work in progress, so you know, this could still change before live. But from the way it seems at the minute, it seems like the update might go live by the end of the month. I'm not sure how many more rounds of testing are going to be in this, but it sounds like it's going to be released sooner rather than later, because traditionally there should be one more update before the end of the year, which is normally just in, you know, a couple of weeks before Christmas that they do that one. So they're kind of pushing the timescales a little bit. So let's hand all these back in to Grimbold here then.
Will you aid the horse lords?
The patrols have been dealt with. Good. That will buy us some space to manoeuvre in if we are forced to defend Dol Baran in the coming days. So you just got the epic. We can ignore that. We get to have a little bit of epic sounding music that randomly perks up and deafens me a bit because it's way louder for me than it is for you guys. So Garwood here, this is the guy that's complaining that the Dunlendings stole all the alcohol.
Welcome, my friend.
What is this? Our dear lost casks? You are a fine elf indeed. I have no means to thank you enough, but should you need a drink, I will make certain that you get your fill before the rest of these louts drain the ale dry.
The Rohirrim are grateful for your aid.
You say that you need some ale for a friend of yours? Ha! But you did us a great favour, so I am more than happy to indulge you. Here you go. You and your friend can drink to your health. So he assumes we're just pocketing an extra beer for our own sake.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
Driven off, I wager that they will be back, but maybe they will not be so brazen the next time. Anyway, I should thank you for your help. There we go. So we've only got this one quest at the moment. So if we head up here then, and we can sort of drop this owl on the crates, I think, next to him. Or did we give it straight to him? Well, my mysterious friend, it seems the lazy highborn lout who is supposed to relieve me is late as always. I do not suppose you'll be going anywhere for the minute or two that it will take to kick him out of his sack. Alright, so if we stick the beer here. What are you doing over there? Aren't you going to cut me loose? Well, whatever your plan is, you'd better get out of sight. I see a guard coming up the hill. So we can go hide over here by the tents. Doesn't really matter. You'll be out of sight anyway. So there we go. Arbord has arrived on duty. So you fools fought to smear the name of Saruman, eh? Bah! You skulking woodsmen are no better than these Dunlending barbarians. Soon the alliance between my house and Isengard will ensure our fortune. You, on the other hand, will be enjoying a cell in Edoras until such time as we decide your fate. Eh? What's this? Ho ho! It seems that fate does indeed smile upon me today. Not only do I have the pleasure of seeing this fool of a ranger squirm, but it seems that my fellow guard has forgotten his ale while on watch, even though he probably shouldn't be drinking ale on watch. Ah well, bottoms up. Ah, that's better. Where was I? Oh yes, the high and mighty men of the Western Isle, kings of old. You don't look like much now, do you? Soon Saruman shall be lord of these lands, and my family will rule by his side from the seats of Edoras. No more begging for scraps from the table of Fëanor. So he's an evil Rohirrim. Zzz. The fool is asleep. Quickly, untie me. I see now. A clever plan indeed. This way, Grimbold frees me and gains the excuse he needs to deal with a likely traitor in their midst. Well, as much as I would like to hear news from my kinsman, I think I'd best be going now. So what do we got? We have a great big wide sword. Like a wide but very thin sword. Boots, which we've seen before, but I don't think we've seen the sword before yet, though. Not too much of a fan of the hilt, though. It's pretty plain. Or we have a pocket item. So, accept that. Farewell, Pandulus, till we meet again. Which might be a while. So, we can head over here then. So, I think Grimbold might have a normal quest for us now as well. Yeah, there we go. We need to retake the River Watch soon, or the Dunlendings will reinforce it, giving them control of the river. If they are able to bring boats up and attack us from the direction of the ford, as well as the road, matters will not go well for us. My men stand ready to assault the River Watch at your call. Sound the horn when you believe the time is right for their charge. And that's the only one you've got, so let's mount up. So next we need to go defeat 6 Dunlending sentries. So this is going to be in the same sort of area that we were killing the patrol mobs. So we just head out the main gate here, take the road south, and this is the encampment we're talking about up on this hill up here. So we need to avoid the patrols. We don't need to care about them, but there'll be various archers sat around in the grasses. There we go. Dunlending sentries. If they're not called sentry, like that raider, he doesn't count. Annoyingly, they are going to be archers, so we will have to fight them all in melee, one at a time. Such as this, such is our life. There we go, so that's one, that's two. I think there's another two that I've already seen over in the distance. Yeah, is that a dog? That is a sentry. Yeah, we're just basically establishing a little foothold before we can attack the camp proper. Obviously want to get rid of all their sentries, otherwise they're going to warn of the impending attack. So there's 3 of them. We need one more after these 3. But eventually there's a little passage up here we can take up this cliff and then back across, which leads up to the camp. Or we could just go from the very western side and climb the western side of this hill. But not today. That shall be a follow-up quest. So this is number 4. Come on, die quicker. Oh, god damn it, the raiders aggroed. Well, you can follow me over to the sentry since you're at least melee. And there's a final sentry in the background there. Wonderful. So, murder, murder, murder. I can't think what the old pirate phrase was. Something about slicing them to the brittle or something. You basically just like slice them open from top to bottom of their torso. Rather painful. Probably not as painful as keel hauling. That's pretty nasty. When you basically attach someone to a rope and then drag them under the ship from one side to the other and basically watch them get shredded by all the barnacles and other nasties that are clung to the bottom of the hull. It's not cool. There's a good example of that on the show Black Sails, if you haven't seen that, where one character gets dragged back and forth and he just doesn't die, so they just keep doing it to him. And suffice to say, it looks like he's literally been through a paper shredder by the end of it. Right, so we need to now move upwards, and we need to summon Rohirrim soldiers and destroy crude barricades. So if you see on our map, it's going to indicate a very wide area to our west. But we do need to just come upstairs. Now we're going to end up pulling a few guys here. I think we could have also come in from the west through the main gate, but that would be too easy. But we should be able to summon them from somewhere near the west gate, isn't it? Or was I meant to summon them from the banner that was on the east gate? I may have messed up and now pulled half the camp. I think I was meant to summon them from the east. Damn it. Oh well. Well, let's kill you guys, since you have lovingly followed me over. So we need to also destroy crude barricades, which is kind of separate from summoning the soldiers anyway, because they're not going to help us with the old barricades. So each of these barricades is going to be guarded. So I might as well drag you 2 guys together. Get the camera out of the tree. So there's going to be basically 4 rows of barricades down low, 4 slightly up the hill, which is where I am now. I think there are, in this case, only 8 barricades in total. We should just be able to interact with these. It will set them on fire. I don't think it results in any mobs spawning or anything like that. So set fire to all these while no one's nearby. And then we can go summon our friends. So that'd be 4, that'd be 5. This guy's going to probably... Oh, hello. Where'd you come from, sir? Well, will you come with me? We'll kill you 2 together at least then. So, shing shing. I don't know why. It seems like my power is going down a lot more than it has been previously. I don't seem to be fighting that much. I don't know if something's changed. But there's definitely going to be some stat changes that are coming in the new update anyway. They're kind of rebalancing the stats and the formulas that are involved. Oh, these are summoning dudes by burning these. There we go. But they or at least the reinforcements are running in and then running straight to the barricades they're meant to be defending. I think that's what's happening. In some cases they're running past me. But yeah, they're rebalancing the stats and the formulas to kind of give you a bit more of a smoother curve in the game, because obviously in the earlier parts of the game, up until you get to around about the start of the Isengard expansion, the stats don't really increase too much, because it comes from an era of the game. Oh, there we go. This is the Rohirrim barrel I need. So I need to do the barricades, then summon the dudes. And this is going to start a massive bum rush. So they're all going to run straight up the hill and aggro anything that comes near them. I don't know if they're going to scream on the way past me. No, you're not going to talk. Okay. But yeah, like, up until Isengard, the maximum stats you could have, because there used to be a stat cap, and this is a stat cap for things like might, vitality, will, fate, etc., was always 10 times your level. So if your level was level 65, your maximum stats were 650. I have no idea why they've ran all the way over there to attack them people, but we'll leave them to it. Problem is, if I kill these people, this archer's probably going to run off on his own, even further up the hill. Or is he just going to... I don't know. Well, they've killed them on their own. Fantastic. Right. Curse you, elf. Whereas with Isengard, they kind of like removed the stat cap and you could just stack as many stats as you could physically slot on your character. So stats took up a massive jump then, and then pretty much every expansion since then, there have been like massive stat jumps. So there's big stat inflation when it came to like the Helm's Deep era and so on. And they've kind of struggled to balance stats accordingly. You know, like at one point, vitality was really good because you got loads of morale, and then eventually they nerfed vitality so that the only benefit it gave you was it gave you morale pretty much. But the raw morale you could get from essences and gear actually gave you more than the vitality, and the vitality didn't really give you anything else in addition to the morale. So then vitality became rubbish. And then Fate was nerfed and didn't really do much, no one cared, but now it's a bit better and it gives you some more supporting stats and stuff. So there's been lots of changes to stats going forwards, but in terms of the actual raw numbers, they've increased ridiculous amounts. Right, we need to kill the boss man here at the back, Laurelin. Now we don't care about the small mobs, so if you are squishy, you might just want to focus on killing this one guy. And leave the Rohirrim to deal with other people. The Rohirrim can die, but I think if they die it causes a new soldier to spawn in at the entrance. They just have to run up the hill. And as soon as the boss mob dies here, we have retaken Riverwatch. So there we go. So we need to go back to Grimbold and hand this in, and that'll probably be a good stopping point. But yeah, that made it... With the rebalances, I mean, it remains to be seen how much of an effect this will have on like the early and mid game and that, whether it means your characters are going to be stronger, because there's certainly been the case with previous changes that, in my opinion anyway, your lower level characters are way more powerful than they used to be back in the game. Like back in the days when Shadows of Angmar or Moria was the end game content. So they could unbalance it and make low level content really, really easy, or they could make it really, really hard. Who knows? But yeah, that should all be ironed out in the beta testing anyway. So let's hand this in.
Our mission is dire.
You have retaken the Riverwatch. Well done, Pendulous. We will soon secure the ford against anything Dunland can send against us. So we can have a necklace. We can have a cosmetic jacket, we've seen that before, or we can have a silk hat, which doesn't really look like a silk hat, and it doesn't really look like much of a hat really, but whatever. But that's a tactical one. So I think we will stop that there then, and then next time we're going to head over to the hill of Dol Baran and go defend that basically from Dunlending Assault. But until then, I will see you guys next time.